doing?
All the beginners and
Oh, man. I figured I just got my license yesterday, so. I didn't know all these years I had to have a license. It was weird.
I know you've been selling it, listing it up.
Actually, I got to finish I got one more class to do. I got my license that expires the 24th. Wait, that's in 4 days, huh? Well, I better do that now. I got one more class.
Alright, guys, I've got a sign-in sheet going around here. You guys could, do me a favor and sign into that. That'd be awesome. It's a number 24 5 times. So it's 242424 24. Alright, so I'm doing this class obviously live here in person, but I've also got a recording and going out live through our Facebook page. So I'm hoping the audio is good enough and people out in Facebook land can actually hear me. Probably can't see me because everything's all pretty darkened out, but I have it focused on just the screen here so you can see what's going on and hopefully hear me too. So got that going back there. All right, so today I'll be going over Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, and basically what it is, it's a online service that's got access to flyers, postcards, business cards, you know, you name it. There's so a number of different items that you can create through this service. You have access to through these guys. This is a separate service or website outside of Keller Williams. So I am actually in charge of making sure everyone's gets enrolled in this service. For a lot of the newer people, I may not have you in here yet, but if you bear with me, in probably within the next few days, I'll get you signed up on the service and ready to go. For the rest of you that may have already been here already and should already have access to the site, what you can do is you can go to the. So first of all, here we're on michaellewismarketingsuite.com, and it's always a challenge to say. It's a really long name, even more to type it out, the whole thing. But yeah, if you Google search Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, then this is probably one of the first sites that come up. So to check if you already have a login, what you're going to do is you're going to go up to the top right corner. You're going to find the login button. And it's going to ask you to log in using your email address and a password. Chances are that if I've got you set up in here already, your email address is going to be your main email address, and your password is going to be password. Just password, all lowercase. But of course, you guys can change that once you're inside the account. You guys could also do a, I forgot my password option down here if you guys need help getting in. And if neither of this works, just go ahead and let me know, and I'll look up your account details, verify that you're on the service. If not, we'll get you in.
Mike, real quick, you mentioned about the login. Should be our email address?
Yes.
Like if I have a personal one, that's the one that would be there for that?
Most likely, yeah. So in your case, it might be your Yahoo email address that you like to use, or that we have on file for you. So chances are that it might be that for you can log in.
Okay, thank you.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sign in to our account. Someone's making noise.
I don't know
What is that table? Or that door? Alright, so when I logged into the page here, if it's the first time that you guys log into this page, you guys are actually gonna find this screen here. So if I get to that real quick. So the first time you guys log in, you'll actually see this screen. And what this is asking for is to confirm your account information. So you can go through it and put in your first and last name, your email address that you want to have displayed, your phone numbers, your website address, if you know that, your DRA number, office information, and the rest of this stuff. You can go through the account information page and make sure that's all correct. What you can do as well is you can actually upload a headshot photo. And the purpose of this account information screen is so that when you do go through the flyers and postcards and whatever else is available through here, that this information would automatically populate in those different templates. So no matter if it's a postcard that you're working on or a business card, whatever is saved on the screen is what will show up on, automatically on any of those items. So including a headshot photo if you have one saved here, a custom logo for that you may use, so you can go through this screen here and set that up in advance. And so when you're done, you can click on Save Customer Changes, which is down here at the bottom of this page. And then if you guys ever need to get back to that screen in the future after you've already been through it, when you're logged in, you can go into the My Account section or option right here, and then go under Account Information. So My Account and Account Information will bring you back to this page here. And I just click on Edit to get into that screen. What you can do from this page as well is actually change the password for the Michael Lewis account. So it'll ask you what your old password is, and then you can put in a new password here and then save that. Something that will also be saved in here is going to be like your billing and shipping addresses. So this is if you create any marketing materials through here, you can have them printed and shipped to you by these guys directly. But as you guys will see, and I'll show you, is a number of the different things you create from here you can actually print on your own. So like the flyers, for example. So that's optional, as being as paying to have them sent to you. All right. So what I'm going to start with is show you a little bit on what is available through Mike Lewis. So I'm going to start with one of the flyers.
Mike, real quick,
Yes.
is there a way that I can get out of the page of the account information so I can continue doing what you're doing there, and I can do this later?
Yeah. So if you're on that,
Page.
you're on this one here.
Yes.
Let's take this. Click Save Customer Changes down here.
If it won't work, that means one of your fields hasn't been populated, like maybe you didn't put your cow breed number in. All the ones with an asterisk have to be filled in.
Yeah, exactly. So these that show up with a little red.
But what I'm saying, none of that has been done, but can I do that later and just continue viewing what you're doing?
Yeah, try clicking close here at the top right corner. See if it lets you get out of that screen. It's right here.
Oh, there's a close? Because
Yeah.
mine says
Oh,
log
there
out.
we go, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Because you can always get back to that screen
Appreciate it.
later. So I'm going to click on Flyers. All right. So with the flyers and with actually a number of the other items that are available up here, business cards, door hangers, postcards, property brochures, each one of these different sections is going to have a series or a number of series to them. For example, I see here that I have access to flyers under the red series and then slate series as I'm clicking along. And all that means is like there's different themes to each one. So for the white series ones, they are you know, they're mostly white in color or in just how they're designed. But you can actually see, you can go through a number of these, and they're all gonna be a little bit different, but regardless, you're still able to customize them. So, if I go here, I'm just gonna go to one of the red series ones, and then I'm going to, let's see here. I'll choose this one. And actually before that, you can actually click on there's a larger preview button on the bottom of each of these, where if you click on that, it's going to kind of open it up a little bit bigger so you have a little better of a glimpse or a preview of what that flyer is going to look like before you select it. So I'm going to select this one here. And it's asking, once I select it here, I can actually create this as a one-sided flyer, or I can actually design it as a two-sided flyer as well. I can click on this button right here to select a back template, so something that's going to go on that back side of what I've already selected. So you can actually go through here, click on a back template, and then it's going to give you kind of like the same screen here where you can actually select what you want on that backside. So if you do choose a back, you know, a second side to the flyer here, you know, you'd have to customize that as well and edit it. So I'm going to go ahead and close this, and let's go back to this one. I'm just going to create this as a single-sided flyer just for just to keep it simple. So I'm going to click on Continue to Edit without selecting a back side. And it's going to ask me here if I want to create it without the back template. I'm going to say OK. Just a single-sided flyer. That's all I want. All right.
Sorry.
So when I click Next, it's going to bring me to the editing page here. So we'll be able to see the flyer that you've selected or the postcard. The same thing that we're looking at here, the same design window, is going to actually apply to all of the other items that you can create out of here. So if I had instead chosen a postcard and started designing that, I would actually just be here on the same page. So same design window for any of the items here. So as I scroll along here, I'm going to find this is the template that I had selected, and you can see down here at the bottom, if this isn't Audrey Miller, this is just some other photo here, but you can see if I had if Audrey had her headshot in here, this is where it would show up on this particular template, as well as her information, so her name, phone numbers, email address, anything that was put on that information, that account information screen is actually on here as well.
You have to upload that shot.
What's that?
You have to upload that shot, that picture.
Yeah. Well, not that it's mandatory. It's optional to add a photo or not. But if you don't, then you're going to get this generic photo here, which of course you'd have to.
Oh, you would do it there where it says upload.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't do the upload from here. You would do it from the account information page. It's what we were at before. But so if that's not your photo there, and you actually didn't want to include one, you could actually just select that item there, and up here you get a delete button. So there we go. So this is a sample there. You can actually click on any of the items here, the text boxes, the photos that are on these templates, and you can actually move them around. You can edit them, and as I did there with the photo, I deleted it. One thing you can't delete is the office logo. So this is one of the items that is fixed in place, on the flyers, on the business cards, on anything that's on here, as because, you know, that's mandatory to have the office logo on there, so they just, anytime it's on one of these items, it's just gonna be locked in place, just to make sure it all stays there, it doesn't go missing. So, let's get to editing some of this. So let's say that this, this flyer here, it was gonna be for a listing that I had. So I can see here, this by default says beautiful modern estate in Pacific Palisades. I know this isn't the Pacific Palisades here. This is not as nice out here. So, let's see. So what I did there was I double clicked on the text box and it brought me to the little text editor. So that way I'm able to go through and replace it with whatever I like. So, Palmdale, California. After I make my changes, I'm going to click the commit button, and there it is. So then now that's been replaced on that little text box there. I can also edit this part here as well. If I wanted to change it from saying beautiful modern estate to something else, I can replace that. And let me actually replace this photo here. So this template that I selected only had a single photo as part of it, but of course, if I had selected a different one that had more photos that I could edit, it would be the same idea to what I'm going to do now to replace this. So what I do is I'm just going to select where the photo is, and then up here you're going to get an upload button. So I click on upload image, or the upload button. And in here it's going to show what the current photo is, but I want to replace it with my own. So I'm going to click on Browse, and then you know, it's going to open the little file window here. And let's say if I had the photo that I wanted to use saved on my desktop or my pictures folder, I'd be able to select it from here. So let's say it's this photo right here. So I'm going to select it, click Open. And then there's the new photo. And then I'm going to click on Insert Image. So after clicking on Insert Image, then at that point it's going to replace that photo with the one that I wanted to replace it with. And besides that, the other things I can do are, again, go through and re-edit any of the text here. So if this is where the address would go, and change that out. You know, property details here, price, and property description would all go in here. So let's say that I went through and edited all of that, and that's all good to go. But let's say I wanted to add something else to this. So let's say I needed another text box to say something else on top of this. So one of the other tools you have available through here. And by the way, anytime you kind of click on anything, an image or a text box, you got to click on the Apply button up here so that you can kind of get to this little menu here. And it's only on this little menu where you get the option to add an additional text box, an additional image, or actually change what side of the flyer you're looking at, or the postcard. So we're looking at the front, and if I had selected a back side to this, I would click on the back to change it to what was on the back. So here I want to add a text box. So I'm going to click on Add Text, and then here it'll kind of put it in the middle of the document. But when I clicked on that, it gave me the new text box right here. So I can click and drag it around and resize it. So if I wanted to place it there, and then replace this with, let's say I want to say open house this Sunday, and then whatever Sunday is. Let's see here, Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. changes. And then there's my changes that are now done in that text box. Let's see. And again, you can kind of click it around, reposition it. And I also want to change the color. Let's make it, change it to black. And then I want to resize it. I want to make that line bigger. So let's say 40. So you can see that up here is where you see all of the text options. So font, color, font size, bold, italic, all that stuff. You'll be able to find up here. So if I see here, oops, not that. Let's move this back here. Let's say that that is, that's kind of what I wanted to go with. So section make it a little bit smaller. So now let's say I'm done with my flyer here. It's good to go. I've made all my changes to it. Now, the next step is I can save my work here, and what that'll do is, allow you to rename the document here to something you can go back to and can get back to later. So I'm gonna name it, test flyer. And save my work. And then that way, it's gonna save it to, it's got a little library of things that you've worked on before, so you can always get back to them. Later. So I've saved my work here, and I'm now gonna go to view the proof and continue, which is this box right here on the right corner of the screen. When you click on that, it's going to bring you to the kind of like the proofing screen, or kind of like the final screen here. So this is where you would be basically doing your approval of whatever item you'd be working on. If it was a flyer, if it was a postcard, what have you, you'd see the final layout here. Now, what you're able to do from this screen is you're able to basically add this to your cart, and in order to have Michael Lewis print it for you, basically print out whatever it may be and send it to you. But what we're also able to do is to download the PDF, and that's this option right here. So download unlocked PDF. Clicking on that will download the file to your computer. So it'll save this to your, to your downloads folder or your desktop or wherever it may go. You can then open it, and then there's our flyer. Now after I've downloaded this, now I'm able to print this out. So I'm able to go into print and be able to print it from here. So while Michael Lewis offers you the option to print through them, you're not limited to trying it on your own. So that's kind of how you're able to do that through Michael Lewis. And again, some of the items here you would definitely be able to print on your own, like these flyers, because it's just it'd be like a regular sheet of paper that it'd go on. But besides that, the other items like the business cards or the door hangers, those are kind of more specifically sized. So those you might want to go through them and have those printed out, so they'd be their best quality. But so that's kind of how I went through and designed this flyer and kind of showed you guys how to edit it. And again, the same would apply to not just this template I used here, but any of the other ones that are available. So this one, for example, this one has looks like 4 different photos, so that's 4 that I you'd work with that one. That one's got 4. This one's also got 4. But you can see they're all different layouts, and it's, you know, different styles as well. Any questions so far?
I missed, the picture part.
The picture part?
Yeah, the inserting the picture, is that the picture of your property that you're going to have an open house at, right? Or a picture of your listing?
Yeah. So the one I had gone through, that's the one I replaced, yes. The one on the flyer for, if this was gonna be for an open house or for just a flyer to pass out, then yeah, you missed that part.
Yeah.
So all I did was, in the flyer that I had customized, so if I go through this again real quick.
So you'd have to take a picture and then upload that picture into the.
Yeah, exactly, or you would get that photo from the MLS, if it was, you know, if your listing was already on the MLS and you were hosting this open house, you can take the photo from there, save it to your computer. Otherwise, then you have to take your own photo and then replace your photo with what's on here. So.
Would you be able to send it to the Michael Suites from your MLS, or would you have to copy it?
You'd have to upload it manually. So you'd have to go through and, on the flyer that you're working on, select the photo that you're gonna replace. So you gotta click on it first, and then up on the top of the screen, then you're gonna get the upload button right here. So after I select the photo, I'm gonna click on upload, and then click the browse option right here, and that's gonna allow me to choose the file that's on my computer, so the photo that I wanna change it to. So this was on my, you know, if it's in your downloads folder or your desktop, you're gonna go through and find your file. So this is my photo here. Click on open, and then you're gonna get the insert image button there, and then that's gonna replace it. Alright, so, and like I mentioned before, the same idea, as far as like editing any of these templates applies to anything else that's on here. So for example, the business cards, you can go through those. And just like the flyers, there's different series, and you'll be able to see each one that's available from here. And those, again, get customized the same way. Another thing that you guys have access to from Michael Lewis is going to be the social suite. So up here along the top, you'll find a section called Social Suite. And you're going to find here a number of different social media kind of oriented items that you can, of course, customize and use for your social media. So a lot of these are like agent announcement type stuff. Here, here's maybe like a just listed template, you know, buy with us, congratulations on, so like some anniversary type stuff, some, you know, congratulatory ones, just listed, kind of like some market update style templates, open house ones. So you can actually, you know, you can see that there's a number of these as you scroll along. And again, if I select any one of these, then it's gonna allow me to edit. So if I were to go through and edit this one, again, I see the same edit window here, same idea. I can click on any of the photos to replace them. I can edit any of the text boxes, say, you know, change what they say. And again, of course, that's not Audrey, but of course, if that was her headshot, you know, that's where that would go. And, you know, her info here on this, on the right side. you'll kind of get these where it says replace or remove. These are kind of like different placeholders. You can actually just delete those if you see any of those kind of pop up on your template. So I just go ahead and delete that.
Are you able to load directly from this website onto your social media, or you have to just save it to your desktop and then upload it?
So you can do it from here, but it's better to save the file and then do it separately, and I'll show you why. So if I wanted to, this is I'm done with my template here. I'm gonna go through and view proof and continue just like last time. So it's taking a second. So that's my template there. And it does give you some shortcuts down here to connect to those different social media pages. However, if I go through and click on Facebook, of course it's going to ask me to sign in to my Facebook account. Guys, don't write down my password, it's ... And so when you, of course, you'll need to sign into your Facebook if you go through that connection there. But what it'll do is it'll kind of put the image on your on a post here for you. So just to make sure people that follow me don't think I'm actually hosting an open house, I'm gonna make this private. Just to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to post this to Facebook, and then that'll do its thing. And let's see, I think it might be loading. There it is. So it'll post it and it'll look like this. However, when you click on it, it'll make it so that it'll kind of download the photo to your computer. So you can do it through that connector on this page, but I think it might be better to actually save this file to your computer and then do it manually. You know, it's an extra couple steps, but I think it'll look better because if you do it through Michael Lewis, it'll add like this little web, this little link down here. And actually when you click on it, it won't be a photo that you can see larger. It'll actually just make it so to download it. So you might not want that. So instead you can download the image right here. Download front image. And then that will, just like that flyer from earlier, it'll save the file to your computer. It's taking a while. But in other words, so when it does finish downloading the file, then you'll be able to kind of do the same thing. So find the file on your computer and then upload it just to a regular social post. And I think that's going to work better. All right, so we have social media, a couple social media items that are available through Michael Lewis here. Back to the editor. There we go. And again, that was all located under the social suite. And some other cool things you can find from here are under the free stuff section. If I click on that, it'll bring me to a page that looks like this. And one of the areas that you have access to under this is there's actually some editable listing presentations down where it says 2019 listing presentations. Then it's gonna give me a little drop down of a couple different options. So, I have generic style presentations, modern, or classic. And each one is gonna come as a vertical style or a horizontal. So, ones that are designed to be, again, oriented vertically or horizontally. So, if I go through and I'm gonna click on the first one, the vertical listing presentation. What that's gonna do is gonna save the file again to your computer. And you will need PowerPoint or a similar program on your computer in order to open it. Just keep that in mind. And so when it finishes saving, then you'll be able to open it. And let's see here. There we go. And then it'll open up for you. So this is the vertical listing presentation that I chosen, but you can see here it's got it's about 41 slides, and you're actually able to customize this. So you're able to go through slide by slide and edit any of the information or content that's on here. So it's saying here, prepared for the exclusive use of, and the client's name could go here in their info, and it even says here, image of potential client's home. So if you have a photo of that potential listing, you can replace this with that. It would make it seem more personalized. Prepared by, and that looks like the section where you would be able to put in your photo and your info in there. And as you go along, you're going to find different pages, different sections that you can replace and customize. So, and all of this you're able to, again, you have access to Michael Lewis, from Michael Lewis, and you're able to edit and customize. So, these are used a lot. I've seen them used a lot here in the office. Customized, they're printed out. They actually, look pretty nice, and it could be a pretty good thing to be able to have with you, and present that to your clients. If you ever have a listing appointment. So this is like the vertical style. Again, the vertical style presentation template here, and really anything that you go through here that you may not need, of course you can delete, you can not include it, but just different examples of and different items that are included on these. So it's the vertical, and each one of these is going to be a little bit different design with different styles, and it's going to include different information. So besides the presentations, you also have access to some email signatures. So you've got a section here, and this is actually something that I've done a lot for a number of agents. Whenever they ask me, hey, can you design that little signature that goes on the bottom of my email? Can you help me with that? What I've done for the longest time is actually use the templates from Michael Lewis directly, because it makes it easy to just go through and replace the name, change the photo. It's fairly quick doing it with the templates that they provide, and they're actually they're not bad looking either. To use these, you will need the Publisher program, or if you're on a Windows computer, or the Pages program if you're on a Mac. And you have different ones for each of the different programs here. So one for Windows and one for Apple computers. Let's see here. I don't have Publisher's not on this computer, so I'm not able to open it up. But it would be a file that includes different signature templates, and just like the PowerPoint we're looking at a second ago, you're able to replace anything that's on there that's pre-written, and create a signature template that or signature image that you're able to use and put on your emails. So, and for the most part, that's a little bit of everything that's available on Michael Lewis. You guys have any questions? Yes.
For us that are newer, did you mention that we need to wait for you to sign us into this, or?
Yeah, so I gotta get you guys, get set up with an account on Michael Lewis,
Okay,
and then you'll just have access to all of this as well. You know, just like I went through here today.
all right,
Yeah.
thank you.
And in case you guys may have missed that, if you aren't necessarily new and you need help getting into that account that may have been set up for you already, just let me know, and I can, if we need to change the email address that it's set to, reset the password, do anything like that, just let me know, and I can take care of that for you guys.
On the email signatures, like if I don't have the PowerPoint or whatever I need it, can you do it, help me, like on another computer?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's while the file itself they provide you with is very convenient because it's all pre-designed for you. You still need the program to be able to open it, and not everyone has Publisher. A lot of people have Word or Excel or PowerPoint, but not usually Publisher. But that's something that I can help out with as well. And I've done it a lot. You know, I've done many different signatures for different ages before. So, yep. Just let me know. All right, guys. So if there's another questions, just thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're left out to bring you,
Yeah, let's look. Did everyone get a chance to sign in? Everything's posted. And you're Charlie? Yes. So that was set up under your charlieestates@gmail.com.
Okay, then I passed my email. Do I just?
So is that still a good email?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'd rather change it, just because that's my, I use that for like, my offer and stuff like that. I'd rather maybe use a different email.
Oh, for sure.
Since we're already here, you know.
Yeah.
And then just change the states to affiliate.
Charlie affiliate?
Yeah, at gmail.com.
AFFILIATE. Sorry, I need help spell. Charlie affiliate @gmail.com.
Yeah. And the password is me.
And the password,
Password.
yeah, I'll make it just password lowercase. So, let's save this. And just to make sure that the password changed, we'll do it again. Password. So then, yeah, when you go to michaellewismarketingsuite.com, use that email address, and then that's going to be your password again.
I'm gonna test it out right now.
Go ahead.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon, I'm not sure if we said that.
Yeah, I think that was still on my to-do list.
Okay.
But while I'm here, I've got a few minutes, so I don't mind. What email address do you want to?
Giovanni Paredes at KW.
The KW.
We'll also make it password. And then it's like the office address and info here that goes on the rest of this.
Great,
And then there it is, yeah, so same thing, it's gonna use that email address and then that same password again.
One more thing though, I shot you a message on Facebook. Message. It's card.org, you can get access to the
Card.org.
illicit files and all the documents that are in there. Because I'm gonna go to a new client tomorrow and I have to have her sign something.
Gotcha.
I'm sure this one's.
Sure, check my, oh, my next appointment's at 4:30.
But I would need.
I have, it shouldn't take too long to get that, set up.
Sure.
But, if you want us to stick around for a little bit,
Great, I can see.
yeah, I can help with that too.
Cool, thank you.